Check, 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 mic check, mic check. Adam Caskey in the KSAT 12 studio. Check, 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 mic check, mic check. All right, that works. Excuse me. All right, push alert out, and we're gravy. Hello, everybody joining us right now. Adam Caskey here in the KSAT 12 Weather Center, and we're getting ready to give you a little update here on what we're seeing and what you can expect as the night goes on and into the early morning hours. I know a lot of you are hearing the wind outside, hearing the rain, seeing the rain. It's coming down at a pretty good clip right now, and I'm here to give you an update on that. I just want to get ready here, do a few things, and all right, howdy everybody. Thanks for joining us. Here's a look at the live radar, and you can see how the heavy rain really just blossomed right over San Antonio just over the past hour or so, and even especially the past 30 minutes, it really just popped up. You're looking at a 30-minute lapse. I'm going to change that to 1 hour. Kind of gauge the difference here. Look at that over the past hour. Those showers really popping up. And we're going to zoom around and take a look at one severe storm that we have ongoing in Maverick County at the moment. But this is all just good soaking heavy rainfall. That problem is this could really turn strong to severe at any moment. Right now, no severe storms around San Antonio. This is just some heavy rainfall that's blowing sideways because of the strong winds. And the strong winds are associated with the cold front. So non-thunderstorm winds gusting up to 47 miles per hour right now at the airport in town. Along and north of Highway 90, that's where we have the heavy rain, again, putting this into motion. It really just blossomed over the past 30 minutes and will continue to modify, of course, as time goes on tonight. I do want to point out we do have one severe thunderstorm right now, the first warning of the night. That's out in Maverick County. That affects folks in Eagle Pass. Could be some large hail associated with this thunderstorm. That's one of the threats, large hail and even a wind gust potentially up to 60, 65 miles per hour. But right now it looks like just north of the city of Eagle Pass, some really large hail here crossing over 277. So that severe thunderstorm warning is in effect until 12:45 a.m. around Eagle Pass in Maverick County. Back to home here. We're just looking at some good soaking heavy rainfall and actually no lightning. No cloud to ground lightning around town. There could be some lightning up in the clouds, cloud to cloud lightning, but nothing that's actually hitting the ground. I want to take you through our Futurecast here. As we go through the night, we'll see more development, these showers and storms coming and going. This Futurecast isn't perfect. They never are. None of them are. But it's a decent representation of the spatial coverage through the night and early morning hours and just the nature of these showers and storms coming and going even once the cold front has passed. Pockets of heavy rainfall. We're blessed to get that because we need the rain. We all know it. But all the way up through the morning commute, those fairly numerous showers and thunderstorms then tapering off as we get into the midday hours tomorrow. By late morning, saying 10, 11 a.m. through the afternoon, rain chances really fall off. Notice how those rain chances, well, they're jumping up significantly, 60, 70% as we go through the night. The primary threats in terms of any severe storms will be straight line winds up to 60 miles per hour, maybe even higher than that, and then damaging hail 1 to 2 inches in diameter. There could be some localized little pockets of hail with some of these thunderstorms. I wish I could tell you exactly what neighborhoods could get hit, but we can't. It's impossible. The science isn't there yet. We won't know until the hail-making storm develops. Then we can tell you when and where. Wind gusts. If you look out your window, you're seeing that wind just blowing sideways. It is wind-driven, or I should say the rain blowing sideways. It's wind-driven rain. Look at the latest gust at the airport, 47 miles per hour. That's because of the cold front. Kelly Field gusting to 40 miles per hour, Hondo 39. Gusting to 36 in New Braunfels. You can see where that cold front is. The leading edge of it just through downtown San Antonio, and all these north winds there, those streamlines showing the northerly winds behind the cold front. So our forecast for these wind gusts, and these are non-thunderstorm gusts, between 40 and 50 miles per hour the rest of the night and through sunrise tomorrow, and still pretty gusty. I mean, we're talking up to about 30, 35 miles per hour through 11 a.m. tomorrow morning, and then tomorrow afternoon, eventually the wind will gradually subside. But bottom line, very gusty right now. The winds are picking up in San Antonio. Those of you on the south side, just give it a couple of minutes. You'll know what I'm talking about. Elsewhere, we're feeling it. You're going to continue to feel it for most of the day tomorrow. And that's not it. We're going to also have some other, I need to update the time on this graphic. I'll get to those other rain chances in a bit because we have some colder air moving in, and we could have a few little snowflakes mixing in with the rain in round 2, which comes tomorrow night, or this time tomorrow. So look at our temperatures. 66 at the airport right now. We were 83 earlier today. Temperatures falling off quickly. Some 70s ahead of the front, and then we've got the 50s on the back side of that boundary. That cold front, it's moving in. Check out that chilly air. 42 Midland and Abilene, 44 Dallas. North wind pumping that cooler air southward. It's moving into town, and it's going to be here for several more days. Look at our morning lows. Tomorrow, we're actually going to wake up to a low in the lower 40s, and then this weekend, we'll have some lows down in the 30s. Now, what that means is that as the colder air moves in, our round 2 tomorrow night into Saturday morning could actually feature a bit of a wintry mix developing. By sunrise on Saturday, wouldn't surprise me if we had some wet snowflakes mixing in northern Bexar County, the north side of San Antonio, and especially in the hill country. This is just a gee whiz type of thing, more of an ooh, ah, opposed to any impacts. There'll be no impacts to travel. Think of it as white rain if you actually see any flakes in your neck of the woods mixed in with the rain Saturday morning. Otherwise, we're looking at just some good soaking rain, not just tonight, but Friday night into Saturday morning. Beneficial rain. One computer model here spitting out half-inch to even, well, that's through, I should say, through Sunday, spitting out over an inch. I think we'll see even higher than that in some localized areas. I got to update this forecast here because that's the before midnight version. I need to give you the after midnight version. So just bear with me here 1 second. Once that clock turns over to midnight, then some of our graphics get all out of whack because of the way they've been configured. So here we go. And those of you just joining us, I'm going to give you another update here. Excuse me, in just a moment. All right. That's not what I was looking for. Hold on, bear with me. All right. Man, look at this temperature drop across our area. I know you've been hearing the winds out there, but those northerly winds are really blowing in some much cooler air, blowing that cooler air into town. And checking out TransGuide, look at that. I-10 at Crossroads, some good soaking rain coating the roadway. This rain's going to be coming and going through the night and into parts of tomorrow. Then we have another round tomorrow night. Here's that forecast for you. Tomorrow morning, 42 degrees early in the morning, then only 52 for the high temperature. That's as warm as it'll get. 50 degrees the high both Saturday and Sunday, with some morning temperatures down in the 30s, just above freezing for most of us, but parts of the hill country could briefly dip below freezing. That is for parts of the weekend. We get into Monday, a high of only 47, and then we're back to 60 finally by Tuesday of next week. So it's going to take some time until that temperature really climbs up again and we get back to 60 degrees, nonetheless 70s once we get to the middle part of next week. So as we mentioned, this cold air is here. It's here to stay, and it's going to be here for several more days. All right, I'm going to take a look at the radar here again in one moment, just checking out a few of these details here with this. Here we go. Yep, okay. So here's the view from Canyon Lake, and I know a lot of us saw this same view earlier today, this evening, of the lightning off in the distance. That was quite a ways away. That was actually lightning that was over Austin. That was good, well, from Canyon Lake. As the crow flies, it was about 45 miles from downtown San Antonio. We could see it very well, and that was about 75 miles away. All right, and here we go again. Let's look at the radar. If the rain's waking you up outside, never fear, nothing severe. At least, not yet. At the moment, we don't have any severe thunderstorms, just some heavy rainfall with some gusty winds. We were talking about those gusty winds, non-severe or non-thunderstorm winds, up to about 47 miles per hour at the airport. That's pretty impressive for just being a cold front to kick the winds off. But that's what we get in these transition seasons. We get these strong cold fronts that then develop these strong winds, that greater temperature differential. See the cold front here, the leading edge of it, this faint green line that's stretching through southern Bexar County, just south of Seguin as well into Wilson County. And all this heavy rain just flaring up over the past 45 minutes. This is nice to see. You look at the heavy rain right along 281, Wurzbach Parkway around the airport, and the Bitters Brush Recycling site. I go there often with a pickup bed load full of branches and stuff. Anyway, get to the Wetmore area. And this is right around McAllister Park. Very, very heavy rainfall that we're seeing here. The reds indicate the heavy rain. We work our way across 281 up to 1604, Camp Bullis, Rogers Ranch, down to Chavano Park, Clark High School. You get into Castle Hills area and West Avenue, right around Antonian High School. Yeah, moderate heavy rainfall. And this is what's going to be coming and going here for a good portion of the night. And those aren't the only neighborhoods getting hit. Downtown now and South Side, you're starting to see some development. Go right into Southtown and Lone Star Brewery. Bam! Heavy downpour. No hail right now. That's good. Hopefully we can avoid the hail. If we could really have it our way, we'd avoid the hail and just continue to enjoy the good rainfall. But speaking of rainfall, the rainfall rates are very beneficial for us. This is some good soaking rain. This isn't flash flooding rain, but some of the heavy rain near McAllister Park moving into the Wetmore area, the purple, that's the heaviest rain. That's 5.1 inches per hour, where, yeah, if it rained for an hour, it would give you 5 inches, and maybe become problematic. But this isn't going to become problematic because it's not going to rain for that long at that rate. And we're not seeing rainfall rates that are indicative of some of our strongest thunderstorms. These are just good soaking heavy rainfall that we need and the aquifer needs. The aquifer, it's low. We're almost 35 feet below the March average. So it's way down there, and this will help a little bit, but we really want the rain to fall a little bit more to the north in order to really boost that aquifer level. Anyway, let's go over to the west side. You've got the moderate to heavy rainfall. If there was lightning, you'd see those little white lines on the screen. We don't have the lightning, so we don't have the little white lines yet. I'm fine with that. I know I'm fine with that, but still, the driving rain and the wind-driven rain may be waking you up. So around SeaWorld, and especially just outside of 1604 in the Alamo Ranch area, you get up the big interchange here near Taft High School, and that's where, well, there's a little break there, but that's not going to last very long. Overall, just good rain. If you're just waking up, rest assured for now, nothing severe. But I'm going to keep an eye on this and let you know, of course, the moment that changes. We do have one severe storm far away from San Antonio, and that's this storm near Eagle Pass. This has got some large hail associated with it. This is dropping some large hail. Here's where the hail is within this thunderstorm, and it's this pink area just outside the city of Eagle Pass. That pink area is where we have the hail within this storm. And that's the only severe thunderstorm that we have on the map at the moment. This one near Eagle Pass. I'm going to zoom out a little bit and put that baby into motion for you. Watch how it flares up in Mexico, develops in Mexico, then flares up once it crosses the Rio Grande, and it's headed eastward at the moment. So that's headed eastward, and we'll continue to monitor that. But right now, just a small little warning area. Hopefully it drops all of its hail and won't be problematic once it inches eastward towards Zavala County and Dimmitt County. But that's the only severe warning that we have, the only severe thunderstorm. Otherwise, some moderate to heavy rain heading through Uvalde, Valverde County, get up to Rock Springs, Edwards County. Not as much in the hill country. I know you're feeling the wind in the hill country and the colder temperatures, but not as much in terms of rainfall at the moment. And even New Braunfels, it's south of you. This is mostly developing right along I-10 with the cold front. Gonzales, I should say, moving into Hallettsville, Molten Shiner, Gonzales, westward to Seguin, and all the way into San Antonio. And hey, we have our first lightning strike. You can tell by my tone, this is nothing major right now, right? We're not looking at anything severe at the moment, but keep in mind that can change. And it's still loud outside, but we're not looking at anything damaging. One lightning strike between Hondo and Divine in Medina County. That's our only strike to speak of at the moment. And there's a little bit of purple developing here, so we're going to watch for the potential of hail developing within that thunderstorm. There could be some hail starting to develop. The electrification of it indicates strengthening as well, so that's another clue. But I mean, we're just talking about one lightning strike. That's it, one little lightning strike. So nothing to be concerned about at the moment, just a lot of activity on our radar screen that we need to monitor and keep a close eye on. There's a look at it. Those of you just tuning in, this all just flared up over the past 45 minutes, and now we've got some pretty good coverage of good rain across most of Bexar County and a good chunk of San Antonio. And this is what we like to see, but we also have the cold front that has hit. So here's our Futurecast, running through this quickly. It's not perfect, it's not ideal, but you know, it's probably the best representation we have of what you can expect. And basically, don't pay attention to the exact location of these showers and storms through the night and morning commute tomorrow. Just the mere fact that the Futurecast is showing them to be so widespread and numerous in terms of the quantity of these showers and storms. It's going to be a damp morning commute. Even if, when you drive to work, you've got a break in the rain, still going to be wet roads and a lot of road spray out there too from cars in front of you. And then through the late morning tomorrow, we're talking 10 a.m. and on, then the rain showers come to an end, and we could even have some thinning of those clouds. Now, the primary severe weather threats tonight: straight line winds up to 60 miles per hour, and the potential for very localized damaging hail. Right now, we don't have any hail within the thunderstorms. That could change. That's why I'm here. And I'm on your phone, online, ready to go. And of course, if necessary, we'll hop on KSAT 12 and go on air as well. But right now, we don't have any hail. We're watching for it. We do have some wind gusts. Look at that. 47 mile per hour gusts at the airport. I'm not a good whistler, but pulled that one off. It's howling out there, and this is because of the cold front. Stinson, hello cold front, gusting to 38 miles per hour. Even Hondo now gusting to 39. That's non-thunderstorm wind gusts. That's just because of the cold front. You see those winds gusting between 40 and 50 miles per hour through sunrise tomorrow, and still gusting 30 to 40 miles per hour up through the noon hour tomorrow. If it's your trash, recycling, or green organics Bing pickup, get ready. Once that truck comes by and empties it out, that barrel's going to be blowing down the street a little bit, and even maybe tipping over and spilling. If you put it out, earlier tonight, watch out. Might want to check it, because sometimes those bins can still get toppled over despite being heavy and full. I got to update this graphic. We'll get to that in a moment. But I want to talk about tomorrow. We'll still have some basically scattered showers and a few thunderstorms through 7, 8 a.m. And then by noon, we're down to a 10% chance. Little bit of sunshine into the afternoon. 42 in the morning, 52 for the afternoon high temperature. We're talking a big drop in temperatures. Right now, 50 at Kelly Field, Port SA, 66 at the airport, San Antonio International, that is. Randolph at 59. Meanwhile, Seguin at 70, but New Braunfels 59. You can see that colder air pushing southward. You can tell where the cold front is. Pleasanton still 72, but we're in the 50s throughout the hill country, and that's now pushing southward into San Antonio. So our temperatures are falling quickly. Prepare for that chill throughout the day tomorrow and really the next several days. This colder air, these 40s and 30s in North Texas, that's plunging southward, and we will get a feel for that. We'll notice that significantly. 52 tomorrow afternoon. By Saturday morning, we're at 36. Saturday and Sunday afternoons, 50 degrees, the high. This whole weekend, cloudy, damp, and cold. We're talking another round of rain Friday night into Saturday morning. With it, could be some wet snowflakes mixing in. And yes, there is a difference between wet and dry snowflakes. The warmer the temperature, the wetter the snowflakes and kind of the slushier it is. Whereas the colder the temperature, the drier the snowflakes and the more powdery it is. The kind that you can't make a snowball with. We've had that before, but this would just be some snowflakes mixed in with the rain in northern Bexar County, northern end of San Antonio, Saturday morning around sunrise. No impacts to travel, just wet roadways, not white roadways. Sunday, a few lingering showers, cloudy, cold, 50 degrees. An indoor weekend for sure. We get into Monday, 47 the high with another round of some scattered rain. We could very easily be looking at a few good inches of rain between now and Sunday night, and 2 to 3 inches of rain in some parts of our area between now and Monday night. All right, I'm going to reload everything and then get back with a fresh look at the radar, because we're seeing a little bit more hail or not more hail, but more lightning, I should say, more lightning with a storm just north of Devine. But otherwise, we're looking at some very good, healthy, beneficial rain. There's a look at I-10 and Crossroads. I'm going to leave you with that. I'll be back in just a couple of minutes. All right, hello everybody. Adam Caskey here, back with you. Get you through the rest of the night, get you through your morning commute, all of the above. And I want to start off with something that we've all seen. If you ventured out tonight and you looked off to the north or northeast, you probably saw something like this. Those thunderstorms off in Austin, giving us a light display tonight. They sure did earlier this evening. Now, we have some showers and thunderstorms, even one severe storm in Maverick County at the moment. And what you're looking at here in terms of the rain chances, notice how these rain chances really jump up and they peak and spike overnight tonight through the very early morning hours tomorrow. And then the rain chances quickly fall off toward the noon hour. So most of it is going to be now through 7 a.m. and then the rain really starts to fall off. As for the current rainfall, this is it. I'm going to walk over to the wall right now. This is what we have going on. We've got some moderate to heavy rainfall across San Antonio. We'll get into accumulations thus far in just a moment because this has been ongoing for about 45 minutes and we're getting some meaningful rainfall, some good accumulations. And really quickly, there's that severe storm, lower left-hand side of the screen, just west of Crystal City. Right now, it's in a very rural part of Maverick County, but I'm going to show you that because it has some large hail. I'll show you that in a moment. First of all, this is what we have falling. We have our cold front right here, that green line, that's our cold front. That's the front that's pushing in the colder air, kicking up those winds and triggering these showers. And now, even a few thunderstorms. Look at this. We have a few lightning strikes, cloud to ground lightning strikes around Camp Bullis, basically, and even that quarry that's there, just on the south end of Camp Bullis, we have a few lightning strikes. Tilt that sideways. There you go. There are those lightning strikes just north of 1604. So starting to get a little bit of snap, crackle, pop outside within some of these showers and thunderstorms. This is heavy rainfall otherwise. This red you see, that is some very heavy rain. We're going to go over to the far north side, northeast side of town. The reds are some of the heaviest rainfall. Once you start getting into the purples, that can sometimes indicate that we've got some hail developing within these storms. Not always, but it can. And we've got a little bit of a break now within 410, especially on the northwest side of town. Still some light rain and some wind-driven rain, but it's not coming down as hard. It's going to continue to come and go through the rest of the night and into tomorrow. It's not going to be raining continuously where you are, but these showers and storms will be coming and going. It looks like we have a new strike up near New Braunfels, right there at the end, just west of the city of New Braunfels. That's one new lightning strike. So starting to get a little bit of electrification. And here in Frio County, some lightning and thunder with this between Divine and Castroville with this thunderstorm that's tracking. They're moving to the northeast, east-northeast basically, but they're developing as this cold front heads southward. All right, let's take a look at rainfall totals so far because we talked earlier this evening about some rainfall rates on the order of 5 inches per hour. Of course, it's not going to rain for an hour at that rate, but we're starting to tally up some decent accumulations. And remember, this is just started. You know, this has been happening for 45 minutes to an hour for some folks. That's it. So it initially began on the north side of San Antonio. That's where we'll start, where you see these greens. Let's get into Helotes. Helotes, this is nice. This is what we want to see. Look at this. Look at these accumulations. Half an inch already. 0.6, 0.7, just off Bandera Road around Helotes, anywhere from 0.5 to 0.8 inches of rainfall. That is good. The green is indicative of a half inch or more. So the bright green is a half inch. Once you get into the darker greens, that's a little bit closer to or even an inch. For example, this bright green area just east of 281, getting really tight here. Arroyo Moss Street, Moss Way Street, Bent Moss Street. Okay, so now you have an idea of where we are. This is just east of 281 on the far north side of town. within 1604 and Thousand Oaks area, basically, boom, 0.6 inches. That's good. This is nice to see. Nice to see. Good, beneficial rain and a new lightning strike up in Stone Oaks. We're starting to get those lightning strikes. These are 12-hour rainfall totals I'm sharing with you. And within this one downpour that recently popped up that had some of the heaviest rainfall detected yet, we've already gotten between Divine and Hondo 1.2 inches of rain. That's good. Ooh, it's just updated. That always excites me. So we'll zoom out and, oh yeah, that half inch of green overspreading the north side and even just south and west of Bexar County. That's good. I do want to take you over to Maverick County and particularly now Zavala County, where we have a severe thunderstorm and some large hail that's within this storm. And we've had some hail already so far this meteorological spring, but this is some hail, 1 inch, maybe slightly larger in this black area just east of Eagle Pass. This is moving to the east at 30 miles per hour. So we'll track that. And this is just ahead of the cold front. So this is way outside of San Antonio. This is far southwest of San Antonio. That's headed eastward. It's going to be making it to Bushy Creek, Colonia at 131. Las Colonias at 133. That's when you can expect it. Crystal City at 1:30 a.m. So Crystal City, you still have some time. It's going to make it to Crystal City at 1:30 a.m. That's this thunderstorm, likely with some potentially damaging, well, likely damaging hail within it. This purple and dark purple spot there. That's the largest of the hail. Wouldn't surprise me if it's a little bit bigger than an inch in diameter. An inch in diameter is the cutoff between the non-damaging hail and the damaging hail. Again, this is far southwest of San Antonio. We don't have anything damaging in terms of severe weather or thunderstorms around town. However, with our gusty winds that are related to the cold front, we could have some power outages. That always happens. Whenever we get those strong winds, we could still have some power outages. Something just to keep in the back of your mind. It doesn't always take a severe storm or a severe situation, to either flicker the power or knock it out for a while. Even some lightning strikes on the far north side. Starting to see a few more of those popping up. Sometimes those lightning strikes can be problematic when it comes to power. But so far the situation is pretty good with power, and I can prove it to you here. Power out total. Now, there are a few, and you're always going to have a few when it gets super gusty. This is not an ERCOT situation. This is not a lack of preparation. 600 total customers affected by some outages. Obviously, very minimal outages right now. That number is probably going to climb just because of our gusty winds and the situation that we have at hand. But if we don't get too much lightning, then hopefully that will mitigate the power outages. But that's still that possibility here through the rest of the night that we could have some of those localized power outages. And if we get a lot of lightning or even more severe storms, it could become more widespread. But currently, right now, most of the lightning, as you see, is popping up on the north side of town, right along 1604. Nothing severe. So kids, if you're just waking up, parents, just checking in. There's some lightning and thunder. Here's the newest bolt that just popped up, and this is in the Stone Oak area. This is east of 281 in Stone Oak, and some fresh bolts around here, even in Hollywood Park. This is not severe. Maybe loud, and you're also hearing the wind blow hard. The wind is blowing hard because of the cold front. The wind is not blowing hard as a result of the thunderstorm. So it's not a thunderstorm wind that you're experiencing and you're hearing. And then when you peek outside, you're seeing that wind drive the rain. It's because of the cold front. Now let's get to this here and talk about what's going to happen. Showing you the Futurecast really quickly, just going through time. It's not completely what's exactly going to happen, but what I like to point out is the representation, the coverage of the showers and storms, and just showing how numerous they are, how widespread this activity is from now all the way through the morning commute. And then by 10 a.m. tomorrow, the rain chances really fall off. And most of the daylight hours on your Friday, I think will be rain free. But then round 2 comes tomorrow night into Saturday morning. Now through the rest of the night, straight line winds and large hail are the primary threats with any severe storms that develop. Otherwise, non-thunderstorm winds, we're all feeling that. Hondo, most recent gust to 44 miles per hour. Stinson Airport on the south side gusting to 41. Previously, we had a wind gust of 47 miles per hour at San Antonio International Airport. Now it's 33 for the most recent gust, but oh yeah, we've been clocking some higher gusts on the leading edge of that front, that cold front, and we'll continue to have this. Notice our wind gust forecast between 40 and 50 miles per hour at times through 6 a.m. and then between 30 and 40 miles per hour at times from 8 a.m. through noon, and then after noon, those wind gusts start to pump the brakes and taper off a little bit. Now here's another side to the story. So this is round 1 that's hitting us right now. Round 2 comes this time tomorrow. So we're talking Friday night on through Saturday morning, another bout of widespread rain. Not expecting thunderstorms. However, here's the little caveat. Rain possibly mixed with some snow. The 4-letter word, snow. Yeah, 4-letter word, I know it is. It's March, and we could have some wet snowflakes mixing in. So let's talk about it. Also going to be colder. 42 tomorrow morning, 52 for the high temperature. Temperatures are on the way down. The cold air is moving in. Cold fronts dropped in. 70s ahead of the front. We've got 50s and 40s behind it. And then even some 30s up in the Panhandle. Amarillo 33. That cold air, it's all plunging southward. You see the streamlines upstream, right? Where the wind is coming from, we've got the 30s and 20s. That means 42 in the morning tomorrow, 36 Saturday morning. Mornings are getting a lot cooler, and I do think that could lead to some sloppy snowflakes mixing in early Saturday morning, even in parts of northern Bexar County and northern San Antonio by sunrise on Saturday. Here's our Futurecast, and the next round of rain starts to move in tomorrow night, early Saturday. Hill country, obviously the highest odds of seeing some wet snowflakes mix in, but even into northern Bexar County and even northern San Antonio, around 1604, I do think you could have some wet snowflakes mixed in. It's not going to have any impact on anything. Wet roadways, not white roadways. Wet ground, not white ground. And it's just a brief period of time on Saturday morning. Now, I do want to point out parts of the hill country, Kerr County, Riall County, Edwards County, Gillespie County, there could be a little frosting on the grassy surfaces on Saturday morning. There is that possibility. But mostly, I mean, check out this Futurecast with round 2 that's coming. Mostly, it's just another batch of really good, soaking, beneficial rain. Just what we need and we like to see. And it's actually going to be pretty damp off and on the next 4 to 5 days. I mean, we're talking round 1 tonight, early tomorrow. Keeping an eye out for those severe storms. And of course, I'll be here to update you, even though I'll be taking some breaks in terms of our live coverage. I'm still there watching, and I'll keep you updated. Saturday and Sunday, high of only 50 degrees. That's as warm as it's going to get. This is a winter-like weather pattern that's going to be in place mid-March, and we're talking highs near 50, and actually only 47 the high on Monday with another round of some scattered rain. And then warmer air pushes in. We get that warm air advection by Tuesday up to 60. And then next week, Wednesday, we're up to 72. All right, here's a look at TransGuide, and everything's fine. It's just some heavy rain, moderate to heavy rain that's coming down. Wind blowing that rain sideways. So far, no severe storms around San Antonio, nothing problematic, nothing threatening. This is all just good, soaking, beneficial rain. However, it is leading to more lightning now, particularly on the north side of San Antonio and the west side. Far west side, you're starting to hear that lightning and thunder. I'm going to change this lapse to 30 minutes. There we go. And these little white lines indicate those lightning strikes. And remember, lightning is not considered severe. I mean, any old garden variety thunderstorm can and will have lightning. Doesn't mean it's a severe storm, but lightning in itself is dangerous. Hollywood Park, recent lightning bolt up in Stone Oak as well. That's north of Reagan High School in Stone Oak. Closer to, looks like Lopez Middle School area almost. Not quite. Anyway, that's where we have the lightning, off toward Evans Road. Where did our lightning bolt go? There it is. There's our lightning bolt. Yep. So that's where we have the lightning bolts. That's where we've got the lightning. And our lightning counter is a whole whopping 11 strikes. That's it. 11 strikes here. Let's widen out the view. 12 strikes when we make it wider. All of San Antonio, we have 17 strikes. That's pretty paltry, to be honest with you, but this is good. It's good to at least have the rain. And you see the showers are starting to taper off on the north side of town, so if you're within this band of lightning and thunder with the heavy rain, just know this batch of heavy rain is going to be coming to an end in a little bit, but there's likely to be more following it. And on the west side of town, you're just starting to get the lightning and thunder and the heavy rain associated with it. So that heavy rain is moving to the east at 30 miles per hour. This heavy downpour, that's northeast. Let's do that. Heavy downpour making it to Lackland 109 a.m., Von Army 109, Holmes High School 116, Kennedy High School at 1:20. Within 20 minutes, it'll be in Kennedy High School. All right, I'm going to take a quick break, but we'll be back in a couple minutes. I'm going to keep an eye updating a few things, and we'll be back and let you know if anything else breaking happens. Otherwise, I'll just be back in a little bit to give you a fresh update on the radar. Hello, everybody. Unfortunately, we have a new tornado warning that's in effect. And this is southwest of San Antonio, okay? This does not include San Antonio, but our friends down in Crystal City, Carrizo Springs, have this thunderstorm that's capable of producing a tornado. This is radar indicated, this tornado. And this tornado warning goes until 1:45 a.m. That's for southern Zavala and northern Dimmitt counties, okay? Analyze this, take a look at it here. And then whenever possible, we're gonna hop on air to give people an update once we have captioning and everything else. But this is the thunderstorm that we're worried about at the moment. Not only just some large hail within it, but a little bit of rotation has been detected. National Weather Service issued this severe thunderstorm warning until 1:45 a.m. This is far away from San Antonio, but our friends down in Crystal City and Carrizo Springs, you need to seek shelter immediately. This is bearing down on you right now. Not only does it have the potential for some damaging hail. Okay, just let me know, Johnny. Johnny's talking to me in my ear. Okay, sounds good. Yep. Okay, great. Yep, standing by. All right, but I believe it would be in this little notched area where we have the winds that are blowing toward the radar and away from the radar. Standing by. Just letting y'all know on the app. Hello, Adam Caskey here in the KSAT 12 studios with an update on our severe weather across parts of south central Texas. Now in San Antonio, we just have some lightning and thunder and some heavy rain, nothing severe. However, we do have a tornado warning far southwest of San Antonio. This is for Crystal City and Carrizo Springs. You need to seek shelter immediately in this area. This is east of Eagle Pass, Crystal City, Carrizo Springs, tornado warning. This is until 1:45 a.m. That is for extreme southern Zavala County and northern Dimmitt County. Again, until 1:45 a.m. This thunderstorm likely has some large, even damaging hail with it, stretching north to south within it, but also indications that there's the potential that it could drop a tornado, a brief spin up at any point, just due to the rotation here within the thunderstorm. When you look at the winds, you have this green area, relatively speaking. Those are the winds that are headed toward the radar site. And then you've got the red area indicating the winds that are headed away from the radar site. And when you get this, that's where you get that potential for circulation and the potential for a little tornado to drop down. And right now this is bearing down on Crystal City, and anywhere between Crystal City and Carrizo Springs, you need to seek shelter. Get to the interior-most room of your house. Obviously, we typically don't have basements. If you did, a basement would be the best spot. Otherwise, interior-most room of your house, that is a closet that's in the center of your house. Wait this out, let it pass. But right now, the worst part of this thunderstorm is hitting Crystal City and some communities down to the south. The black areas here, that's indicative of some large hail. There's also some hail within this thunderstorm and the potential for damaging hail within this thunderstorm. These little purple areas, especially the dark purple, indicate those hail cores within this thunderstorm. As for the primary threats with this, yes, we have the hail. However, we were talking about this red area, and these red areas are the potential for those winds and even tornadic winds of even 70 miles per hour. So this is the severe weather that's far southwest of San Antonio, Crystal City to Carrizo Springs. Here it comes. This is moving east at now 50 miles per hour. So it's moving very quickly. I'm going to put this into motion. The red that you see, that red polygon, that's the tornado warning that's in effect until 1:45 a.m. That lapse there, that animation is over the last 30 minutes. That's over the last 30 minutes. See it moving from Maverick County into Zavala County and northern Dimmitt County, with the potential of dropping a tornado at any moment. So far, nothing confirmed in terms of a tornado, and it's hard to see them at night anyway. But Crystal City to Carrizo Springs, this is the danger zone where we could have that brief tornado popping up. So we're live on KSAT 12 and the KSAT Weather Authority app, keeping you updated on this storm. You get closer to San Antonio, and right now nothing severe in San Antonio. We just have some lightning, thunder, areas of rain that are coming and going. Again, this isn't severe, maybe waking you up, but nothing to worry about at the moment around San Antonio. We are expecting further development on these showers and storms being off and on and intermittent in nature, coming and going with that severe thunderstorm, and even slight chance of a tornado with that potential through the night. But locally, our primary threats are straight line winds and even large hail. Looking again at the zone where we could have the rotation, it's crossing over 83, where these greens and reds come together. This is between Crystal City and Carrizo Springs. This is the area of concern, particularly at the moment, where there's the potential for a tornado. Doppler radar indicated, nothing actually seen, as many people are sleeping. But if you're just waking up and this is waking you up, stay inside, don't go looking for it, because this is a situation you don't want to take your chances with. But there are a few pockets in here, even near Carrizo Springs, another little pocket of rotation that we're seeing. So some straight line winds of 60 miles per hour, possibly even more. As our technology was showing you, one of the threats is maybe even a 70 mile per hour wind gust. Okay. We mentioned crossing over 83 between Crystal City and Carrizo Springs. Here's the latest analysis. Hold on, let me get rid of that. Here's our latest analysis with our technology, and that's where it's saying potential for 70 to 80 mile per hour winds. And then not only the winds, but then large hail as well. Then you have the large hail. About 2-inch diameter hail possible with this. So that's the area of concern right now in southern Zavala County, Crystal City, all the way down to Carrizo Springs, just crossing over 83. This red and yellow zone is where we have the strongest part of the thunderstorm when it comes to wind. Big Wells, you are downstream from this. So anybody in Big Wells, of course, needs to seek shelter as well. And get ready for this to hit, as this is moving to the east pretty quickly, now at about 50 miles per hour, and it's lengthening out a bit. That's the strong and severe thunderstorm. That's our tornado warning that's in effect until 1:45 a.m. And clearly within it, some hail as well, with the hail 1 inch in diameter. So that's what we have out there right now at the moment. We'll look at our shear tracker, because that can also tell us where we have the rotation within the thunderstorm. And look at the shear rate. Usually where you see reds on this kind of a map, that would indicate the highest twist within the thunderstorm. We'll even play this. And there were a few little reds that popped up, but this would indicate where we have some of the most significant twists within the thunderstorm, and even sometimes a swath of the twist. And so far, the most significant swath we've had is in that area of concern here that's crossing over 83, that same part of the thunderstorm we've been talking about. So Crystal City, it's really starting to pick up for you. I know you've been seeing the lightning and hearing the thunder for quite some time. Carrizo Springs as well. The worst of it's moving through pretty much right now. You're getting the worst of it, and give it a little bit of time and this will finally move through, as it is moving pretty quickly, but this is the worst of it. It's howling out there. Stay inside, stay in the innermost room of your house, stay away from the windows. That's the best thing you can do. Not only could there be a little tornado, a brief spin up within this, but also some large hail, and sometimes that can cause some damage as well, and that's something we want to avoid if we can. So that's the key, to just stay inside. Going through our different tools and stay within the innermost room of your house if you can. Underneath staircase is good too. If you have 2 stories, underneath the staircase can be a good spot as well. This is the core of the storm, the worst parts. Reds and yellows are estimates of 70 to 80 mile per hour winds. And then this white is potential of 1 inch, maybe even larger hail. Sometimes this algorithm overdoes it, but it could be larger than 1 inch hail. Right now, at least 1 inch diameter hail associated with this thunderstorm and the tornado warning that's in effect. Big Wells, you would be the next in line for this. So that's Big Wells. After Crystal City and Carrizo Springs, Big Wells, you'd be the next to get it. I'm going to time that out for you in Big Wells. Let me just plug this into the computer and change the setting here really quickly. And let me get this. All right, 50, yes. Okay, so if you say you're in Big Wells, all right. $20 minutes. 20 minutes in Big Wells, 20 minutes, so pretty soon. Okay. So Big Wells, you're next in line. Yeah, 15 minutes for Big Wells, all right? It's 12 miles away from Big Wells. It's going to be there in about 15 minutes. So Big Wells, stay indoors. Don't go outside looking for this. It's not that kind of situation that you want to be outside. You want to stay indoors and be in your safe place. Large hail likely within the black portion of this thunderstorm. Can't even... Oh yeah, you see that 3-dimensional view of that storm. And I'm going to turn off the lightning. And that 3-dimensional view showing the hail way up in the storm. I'm going to redraw this. Okay, the hail way up in the storm there. And what I mean by that is this black area and purple, black and purple, shows some of the largest hail within this thunderstorm. There it is. And up in the storm, and then coming down, looks like we have an odd slice here that hasn't really fully updated. But anyway, yeah, that's the large hail within this storm. There's some damaging, this looks like a B-word right there too. Very well could be. All right, anyway, that's just a different view, just to get a different vantage point of that. Twisting this back around to our regular view that you're used to seeing from the top down. Turning the lightning back on. It's loud, you got some howling winds, and the potential for a tornado. Biggest hail right now, right between Crystal City and Carrizo Springs in this black area. That's headed off to the east. Big Wells, you're going to have that within about 15 minutes or so. As for the rotation within this, it's out ahead of Crystal City now. It's between Crystal City and Big Wells. Little bits in there. Here we go. That general area right along the county line between Zavala County and Dimmitt County. That's the worst of the storms at the moment. This is the worst that we have. Notice it's far away from San Antonio, so if you're waking up in San Antonio because of our lightning and thunder and heavy rainfall and cold front, just know nothing severe. The severe storms are for our friends, southern Zavala County and northern Dimmitt County. The worst is now moving out of Crystal City and Carrizo Springs. I know it's been howling, but it's moving out of Crystal City and Carrizo Springs, headed toward Big Wells. We are live on the KSAT Weather Authority app and on ksat.com, where you can keep monitoring this situation. We'll keep you updated there. All right, everybody on the app, just coming over to check a few things. Yeah, I think there's some pretty rowdy hail within that thunderstorm, I'll tell you that. Judging by what we're seeing, some pretty rowdy hail. Otherwise, our rain chances, they're a 70% now through 4 a.m. Then they taper off gradually during the morning commute. But bottom line, a damp, soggy, could even be problematic morning commute for us. So even if it's not raining during your drive, the roads will still be wet and there'll probably be some road spray out there from the vehicles ahead of you. So something to prepare for. All right, I'm going to gather this, get some things situated, and let's come around here. All right, that's our tornado warning right now. Yeah, likely, I think, nearly 2-inch diameter hail within this thunderstorm. That's right along 85. Just moved past 83, now along 85. And we've been mentioning Big Wells. You're the next to get it within 15 minutes, okay? Less than 15 minutes, and that's there. This black is some of the largest hail within the thunderstorm. Very well could be the size of a hen egg, an egg, chicken egg. We saw some of that in Dilley a few weeks ago. We don't want to see that again. And of course, this is something to monitor for Dilley and Cotulla downstream. But at the moment, this remains an issue for particularly Dimmitt County, right along 85, which runs between Carrizo Springs, Big Wells, and Dilley. And this is moving in that easterly direction toward I-35, right along Highway 85. It's this area in here. Watching for the potential development. Doppler radar indicated, meaning the rotations there. And this needs to update, but winds between 60 and 80 miles per hour, quite possible, and I would say even likely, within this central zone of this thunderstorm. Big whopper that developed. Big whopper that developed. Again, that tornado warning is in effect until 1:45 a.m. Those of you in Big Wells, you are the next to get hit. It's going to be momentarily for you in Big Wells for that thunderstorm and the worst of it to arrive. You can hear it. I know that. Now's not the time to go outside and look for it. You need to stay indoors in an interior room if you are in Big Wells. Good news for Crystal City and Carrizo Springs. It's still a little loud out there, still some heavy rain, some gusty winds, but the worst is over with, and it's starting to get better for you in Crystal City and Carrizo Springs. Okay, that's the worst we have out there right now. The only severe weather locally. Give you a quick little update, little look. Some lightning and thunder. Those white lines indicate the lightning strikes. And New Braunfels now getting in on some good rain. Downtown San Antonio, south side of town, now getting some soaking rain as well. This is nice to see. This is all just good garden variety action. If it's waking you up, if it's spooking you, rest assured, as of now, in and around San Antonio and Bexar County, nothing severe. The severe weather we have is now bearing down on the city of Big Wells in Dimmitt County. So the city of Big Wells in Dimmitt County, that's where you need to seek shelter. I'm going to gather a few things and give you another update very shortly. Good news, the tornado warning has been canceled. Tornado warning canceled. However, it's still a strong and severe thunderstorm that is bearing down on Big Wells. So Big Wells in Dimmitt County, get ready for the large hail and the heavy rain. You could have hail 1 to 2 inches in diameter. That's between the size of a quarter and a chicken egg. That's moving into Big Wells, but the tornado warning has been canceled, but still could have some straight line winds up to 60 miles per hour. Still a dangerous and potentially damaging thunderstorm. Another update in a bit. Alrighty, hello again. Adam Caskey here with another update. And if you're just waking up, checking things out, just want you to be comfortable in knowing that there's nothing severe around San Antonio. Now that said, we did have a few severe thunderstorms southwest of town, and we still do have a severe thunderstorm warning far southwest of San Antonio, but this is for the city of Cotulla right now, and even Dilley to Cotulla, wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour, and could be some large hail to about 1.5 inches in diameter. There's that potential, and I know Dilley, you're pretty sensitive to hail right now after what you had several weeks back. This isn't necessarily going to be identical, but there's still the potential of a little hail swath moving through there. I'm going to turn off the warnings here. Let me walk over to the screen, and then I can talk everybody through what's happening. Just give me 1 second. Anyway, that's the severe thunderstorm warning that we have in effect, and that's until 2:30 a.m. for extreme southern Frio County, Zavala County, and Dimmitt County. That storm there could have some wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour. It's moving east at 50. It's moving east pretty fast. So that means we're just minutes away from it hitting I-35. Hopefully no issues to traffic, and especially the high profile vehicles, which are most prone to the strong winds. But nonetheless, that's what we have going on down southwest of San Antonio. Locally, we've got some lightning and thunder, but it's nothing severe at the moment in and around San Antonio. Here's what we have in San Antonio. Just those lightning strikes, those white lines indicating the cloud to ground lightning. That's what that's showing. And we have some of that on the city's east side right now, accompanied by heavy rain, but really not much more than that. Well, yes, some gusty winds, but those gusty winds, those gusty winds are mostly associated with the cold front that moved in. So this is the heavy rain at the moment, and this will come and go through the night. We're going to have more of this periodically through the night, early morning, whatever you want to call it, morning commute, and then some much colder air, some much colder temperatures moving into town. But here's a look at the radar, and across the city and the county and surrounding areas, it's hit or miss right now. We've had some heavy rainfall. Most of us have gotten a piece of the action, and even if you haven't, don't worry, there's a lot more time. But let's get into China Grove, Boltville, 410 on the southeast side of town. So we are looking right now about 5-6 miles southeast of downtown. Little lightning strikes here, some snap, crackle, pop. Nothing to worry about, nothing severe, just some very heavy rain. This is along 410 near Roland Road and New Sulphur Springs Road, Southeast Military Drive there. And then into downtown, Lackland Air Force Base area. And on the west side here, Memorial High School, Holmes High School, those neighborhoods, some very heavy rainfall moving into the neighborhood of Jefferson High School. The Mustangs. But this is all just scattered about, and we'll continue to see a little more development here as we go through the night. The area of concern at the moment, that is down I-35, and that's where we have this severe thunderstorm capable of producing a wind gust of 60 miles per hour and hail about 1 inch to 1.5 inches in diameter. So that's some serious hail that could cause some damage. We're talking, basically a $50 size hail, and even a ping pong ball size hail. So we could have some ping pong ball sized hailstones here within that thunderstorm that's about to cross over I-35. It's just moments away from I-35. And not only that, and we also have the cold front that just hit. So you may have noticed the strong winds that just picked up, and the strong winds may have woken you up. Well, those strong winds We're actually not related to any of the thunderstorms in our area. Those strong winds were just because of the cold front that moved into town. And that cold front had some wind gusts of over 40 miles per hour around San Antonio. But basically from Dilley to Cotulla, stay inside, stay away from the windows. You could have some quick gusts up to 60 miles per hour. The storm's moving east at 30 like most of them have been. And the worst is yet to move in. Give it a little more time. We'll track out the back end for you. Let's see what kind of time this gives us. So the back end of the storm, when it's coming to an end, that's going to make it to Cotulla at 2:31 a.m. So Cotulla, you still have another good 30 to 40 minutes of this. Okay, so you're not in the clear until after 2:30 is what it's looking like right now, but the leading edge is moving into Cotulla. Primary threats with this storm would be those straight line winds of 60 miles per hour, even some large hail. Our technology here is indicating some of these gusts, maybe even 70 to 80 miles per hour. I think that's an outlying exception, but it's one of the possibilities. Then we get into the hail part of this thunderstorm. And the hail part of the thunderstorm is this purple area. Come on, baby. There we go. That's the purple area you see just moved out of Big Wells. And now that purple area is on its way toward I-35. That's where most of the hail is. Hopefully it disperses and dissipates a little bit more. And if it does cross over I-35 here, which it will, hopefully it misses the cities of Dilley and Cotulla. I know Dilley had quite a bit of damage from a thunderstorm just a few weeks back. That was very unfortunate. So that's the worst part of this storm. It's starting to elongate out in terms of its hail. It's got a unique structure to it. But locally in San Antonio, luckily for us, we've just had some good rainfall. And the rain has been coming and going for a few hours now. Right now it's coming through the east side of town, 410, just south of I-10, China Grove, and right along 87 toward Adkins, Lone Oak, St. Hedwig. That's some good soaking rain. And now even along I-10, as you get northwest of downtown, up toward the medical center, right along I-10 Crossroads, Balcones Heights, heavy rain moving in, but that's not severe. Maybe loud, but it's not considered severe. Let's talk about rainfall totals so far. This has been some good rain, and check this out. Look across just Bexar County and surrounding communities. Sorry, Kendall County, you've really missed out mostly on this. Comal County, you've had a little bit. Really, the winner so far is Bexar County and even parts of Medina County. Let's go to the south side, right along 410. The green is the cutoff to where you have at least a ½ inch of rain. Get near Mission San Juan, 0.9. Right along 410 and 536, 1 inch. So down near the Missions, we've had already nearly an inch of rainfall. On the far west side of town, from Lackland all the way to Alamo Ranch, we've had pockets of an inch or more. Let's get just outside of Lackland Air Force Base. This is Medina Base Road, West Military Drive here, and 1.1 inches. That's pretty good to see. Medina Base Road and 410, 1.1 inches of rain. That's already, I mean, that's good. And this is just round one of several more rounds of rain than precipitation that's headed our way. Get around to the north side, we've got some darker greens. That's good to see in terms of the heavier rain. And this is on the part of the aquifer recharge zone. So that's one reason we like to see that here. Right along Bulverde Road, just north, I'll zoom out a little bit, just north of 1604. Boom, boom, 1.5 inches. Evans Road, north of 1604, look at that, 1.5 inches. This has been good just so far tonight. This type of soaking rain, this makes me happy, 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 happy. This is good. And of course, we've seen some of that rain spreading eastward. It's not hitting everybody at the same time, nor is it ever going to be. But this will be off and on through the night, tapering off by 9, 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. The sky is lit up down farther to the south on I-35, especially now between Big Wells, Dilley, and Cotulla. LaSalle County seeing this action move in. That's the severe thunderstorm warning until 2:30 a.m. And remember, it's just starting to pick up in Cotulla. It's not going to start really coming to an end until closer to 2:30 a.m. So Cotulla, you're just getting into the thick of it. Dilley, you're just getting into the thick of it. We've got more weather to talk about. I'm going to put this in play if my clicker works. There we go. Okay, Futurecast, just take this with a grain of salt, but whatever. Sometimes people like to see what the computer's saying. Bottom line, we'll have some numerous showers and thunderstorms off and on tonight through a good portion of the morning commute. And then by 9 a.m., it really starts to taper off. And the clouds actually will probably thin out a little bit tomorrow afternoon. Notice those high rain chances. We're talking 70%, so pretty good coverage, widespread through 5 a.m., and then tapering off gradually, 8 a.m. down to 40%. By 10 a.m., we're looking at 30% chance. So the winds have picked up, not even related to thunderstorms, but because of the cold front. Earlier, just an hour and a half ago, we had a wind gust of 47 miles per hour at San Antonio International Airport. Now, our most recent gust is 35, 36 in Pleasanton, 43 mile per hour gust recently in Hondo. Cotulla, gusting up to 47. That's on the leading edge of the front. Looks like the cold front's going to undercut that thunderstorm a little bit, which may mitigate some of that tornadic potential, at least with it, but still some straight line winds. And speaking of straight line winds, it's not going to take a thunderstorm to see wind gusts 40 to 50 miles per hour. We've already experienced it. We're going to have more of that all the way through noon tomorrow. And then tomorrow afternoon, the wind gradually tapers off. But it's going to be a cold day tomorrow. 42 in the morning, 52 in the afternoon, a little bit of sun popping out. If we get more sun than expected, it'll be warmer than 52. Right now, we're at 52 degrees. Temperatures have plummeted. We were 83 just this afternoon. Now we're down to 52 and we keep dropping. But look at Beeville at 73, Carrizo Springs 77. Not for long with that cold front dropping in. These colder temperatures with 40s to the north and even 30s, that colder air is filtering in. And I do think we'll wake up to the 30s on Saturday morning. Lubbock right now 36, Midland 38, Amarillo at the freezing point. There's the cold front south of San Antonio. Pushing through the Eagle Ford basically right now. Tomorrow morning at 42, Saturday morning 36. A brief light freeze in the hill country, I think, Saturday morning. Don't have to worry about pipes, but some plants, especially in the hill country, you may have to take your precautions. But bottom line is we're going to be running well below average, winter-like. The average low right now is 52. We're going to be in the 30s to low 40s all the way through Tuesday. So an extended stretch of colder temperatures. Combine that with round 2 of rain that comes tomorrow night. And yes, we could have a little bit of wet snow mixed in with the rain. Wet snow is that kind of sloppy snow, but isn't going to be puffy or fluffy and it's not going to accumulate. So here's our Futurecast starting tomorrow night. Going into early Saturday morning, another swath of rain, cold rain develops. And then in the hill country, we'll start to see that changeover to a mixture of rain and snow. And the computer's showing it, and I'm thinking northern Bexar County, 1604 and northward, we could actually have some snowflakes mix in with the rain. Mostly just an ooh, ah, gee whiz kind of thing. Think of it as white rain. No additional travel impacts. Wet roads, wet ground, not white. Okay, so it's just basically going to be the same impact that we'd have if it was raining. Into the hill country Saturday morning, there could be a light frosting of snow on grassy surfaces, but travel should be fine through the hill country. Bottom line, we're looking at another good dose and hit of rain Friday night through noon on Saturday. Saturday morning, all the way through about 8, 9 a.m., could have that little bit of mix of wet snow mixed in. And there is a difference between wet snow and dry snow. Dry snow is the fluffy, powdery stuff that you can't make into a snowball. Wet snow means warmer temperatures and it sticks together better. But this isn't going to be the type that actually sticks. It's going to melt on contact. Anyway, a gee whiz thing. 50 degrees, the high temperature both Saturday and Sunday. We're looking at this extended stretch of cold weather. That's sweater weather, jacket weather. 47 then the high on Monday with another round of scattered showers likely. This is good. As I pointed out earlier, we already have picked up around an inch of rain in parts of San Antonio. We're just going to keep adding to that. In the meantime, we're tracking this one severe thunderstorm bearing down on Cotulla at the moment. Cotulla, the worst is coming in right now, and you've got until about 2:30 a.m. until the worst of it, till it really starts to taper off. So stay indoors, stay safe. We're going to keep an eye on this. I'm going to keep the radar right here for those in Cotulla. I'll move it around a bit. We'll keep an eye on things and give you another update in a bit.